Hello there, Bonky here, aka your Lonely Achievement God, coming at you with another achievement walkthrough. As you can see on the screen, we're taking a look at the game SirLovelot, published and developed by Pixel Games and Sometimes You. It initially released on the 3rd or 4th of March of 2021 and is currently on sale as of February 13th of 2022 for half off, down to $4.99. It is normally $9.99. However, that price will be changing on the 15th of February when the weekly sales end. It will jump back up to $9.99. So I do recommend grabbing it quickly. It is not your typical 20-minute get all the achievements, get out. You are going to be spending approximately 3 to 4 hours to get everything, more than likely closer to 3 if you manage to follow along with me. I was dumb in my first playthrough. I tried to do everything, explore everywhere. Obviously, to make a guide, you kind of have to. But the achievements unlock when you reach certain levels of collectibles. And in my playthrough, I kept getting all of those collectibles and looking for them for the rest of the game. You don't need to do that. Once you get the 50 geese achievement, you don't need to keep looking for geese. And so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you the bare minimum requirements to get these achievements with a little extra just in case you miss one or two. And after that, we're not going to be focusing on it. So by the end of the game, we're just going to be focusing on finishing the levels, which make the levels significantly faster. If you're trying to get everything, some of those later levels can take upwards of 10 minutes trying to find all the secrets and, you know, exploring the entire level. For the sake of our achievement walkthrough, we're going to be getting the bare minimum requirements for collectibles and then ignoring them for the rest of the playthrough. I will be showing you, as I said, a few extra. So for geese, you need 50. I'll be showing you approximately 54 geese. For diamonds, you need 5. I'll show you 6 locations for diamonds. And it is important to keep in mind that all of the collectible achievements can be cheesed a little bit by replaying levels. So you don't need to get 54 unique geese or 5 unique diamonds. You can just replay the first level of each area or whatever you need to get that specific collectible. This is my first attempt at stitching together a walkthrough from separate clips. I have recorded each level individually and I'm putting them together. Please feel free, if you can offer respectful, constructive criticism, to let me know what you think and what I should change or do differently, because this is my first attempt and I'm relatively new to all of this. So any respectful, constructive criticism is welcomed. This is a moderately difficult platformer on the same vein of editing things. Dying is inevitable. I did my best to make no death runs so that all the levels are streamlined and you know exactly what you need to do, but most of that is just a matter of me knowing exactly where I need to go and how I need to get there. If I die too much, I do re-record the level. But in this scenario, for the most part, the deaths are put into the game so well that editing out the deaths will make the levels seem choppier than they actually are. Because everything changes if you get halfway through a level and die. The enemies you killed are no longer there. So it won't be representative of the entire level if I, show up in the second screen and half the enemies are already dead. So for the most part, I'm going to be leaving all the deaths in, and I'll do my best to put in the description of the video how many deaths are in each level if you're really concerned about that. But it's not going to add a whole lot of time to each level to keep the deaths in. So for the most part, all of the levels will be just one take. Unless I do really poorly, then I will re-record the level and to make it a little easier. But for the most part, what you see is how I went through the levels while I was recording. The deaths are going to stay in. Finally, this is not a 100% level guide. As I said, once we get the geese achievement, we're not going to be looking for the geese anymore. Once we get the diamonds, we're not going to be looking for the diamonds. So if you're looking to get all the collectibles on level 42, this is not the guide for you. This is the minimum requirement to get your 1000 G. And with that said, the level design is very simple. You see our knight in the background hanging off Rapunzel's hair with a daisy/flower in his hands. That's what you need to do on each level. You need to find the daisy. That way the woman will come out of her tower and let her hair down so that you can climb up to finish the level. The next day you wake up in her tower and leave and try to find a new damsel to give a flower to spend the night. And that's the level design of the game. Rather clever, honestly, for a little game like this. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the achievement list. I do apologize for how long everything takes. I tend to over-information you, but we got 20 achievements for 1000 G. First Love is for finding a flower for a damsel. We'll get that on the first level. Jungle Land is one of the 4 areas in the game. It is the first one for all 4 areas. The achievement for reaching the area doesn't unlock until you finish the first level. So we won't get this until we finish the first level, and that's the same for all 4 of the areas. The area achievement does not unlock until you finish the first level, even though the description says you just need to visit. Cash Grab is for picking up 100 coins. It is worth noting that coins are random. As long as you follow along with me, you should get this about halfway through the game, but as I mentioned before, coins are cumulative, just like all the other collectibles. You can replay levels to get this achievement sooner if you so desire. So don't worry about coins a whole lot. There are lanterns you can destroy that occasionally drop coins. Feel free to do that. I do recommend shooting the lanterns to help you get coins faster. But again, if you somehow manage to get through the whole game without getting 100 coins, you can just replay some of the early levels and quickly knock it out. Defeating 100 enemies, I believe this is impossible not to get by going through the game. There's no way, unless you are actively avoiding enemies, to avoid that achievement. Revisiting a level, we're going to take care of this right on the very first level. You just need to replay a level you've already completed. Die 100 times. More than likely this is impossible to miss if you play through the entire game, because a lot of the levels in Area 4 are very difficult. But if it just so happens you're a god at platformers and you finish the game with less than 100 deaths, level 43, which is the penultimate level in the game, right before the final boss, has an excellent place to grind out deaths if you should need it. You can just spawn the level and walk right into the lava. Vandal Knight is for breaking something. We'll get that on the very first level. 5 diamonds and 3 lollipops are collectibles for the 3rd and 4th area specifically. As I said, I'll be showing you 6 and 4 locations respectively, but you can just replay levels if you need to get those. Swampland is the 2nd level in the game, or area in the game. Again, the achievement will unlock when you finish the first level in Swampland. Taking the plunge will unlock when you jump into the water for the first time. That happens on the first level in Swampland as well. Finishing a level without dying is very easy to do on the very first level, and we will be replaying that level, so even if you do fail the first time, you can give it another shot until you do succeed. Again, for geese, we'll be showing you all of the geese in the first 2 areas, which I believe totals 54 or so. But if you do need to get more geese afterwards, you can replay levels to do so. Spooky Land is the 3rd area. Secret treasures. There is 1 secret treasure in each area of the game, to my knowledge. However, I was never able to find the 3rd one. We're going to show you the very first one and get that achievement out of the way. I believe it's like level 7 or 8, I don't remember off the top of my head. Lazy Night you get for pausing the game during a level. We already covered lollipops. Those are the collectible in Volcano Land, and we will unlock that when we first visit Volcano Land and finish that first level in it. 40 daisies may unlock at different times for different people. Again, you do get 1 daisy per level, but if you're following along with me, you don't have a lot of reason to replay levels. So there's a good chance that you'll unlock this towards the end of the game, but you may unlock it sooner than I do. And Slaying the Beast and a Unicorn are for defeating the final boss and finding your one and only maiden. And again, I do apologize for all of the extra information, but I do like to be thorough when I make my guides. I've always appreciated when I have a guide that I'm following, and it sounds like the guy knows what he's talking about. So hopefully I give off that impression. But I'm going to end the introduction here, and we will start the guide with level 1 in a minute here. Again, I'm going to be doing my first attempt at stitching videos together, so hopefully the pauses aren't too abrupt, but I will do my best to make everything transition rather well. So I hope the guide helps you out, and I'll pass it off to level 1. Okay, folks, so already I screwed this up. So sorry about that. I forgot that hitting play from the main menu brings you straight into the first level and not to the level overworld. So I accidentally jumped in. Another quick note, I am using a different account than I did in the intro because when I tried to record this walkthrough last night, achievements weren't popping on screen, and that is just not acceptable for an achievement walkthrough. So if you do notice that everything's a different color now, there's no funny business going on. Just when I tried to record it the first time, an achievement didn't pop. When I reloaded the game, it popped, but obviously it didn't pop while on in the recording. So we're going to try this again. Let's go ahead and jump into level 1 here. Right off the bat, go ahead and pause the game. And come back, and you'll get the Lazy Knight achievement for taking a break. You can move right and left with the D-pad or the analog, whichever you prefer. A is to jump. You can double jump, and you shoot with X, and try to make sure you're shooting the lanterns. If you do shoot the lantern, you'll get the Vandal Knight achievement for breaking something. The lanterns do contain coins, so I do recommend shooting them while you're going through the game. We're going to run over to the right here, jump across the gap, and collect our first flower. And then we're going to jump back to the ladder. Be careful up here. For finishing the level, you want to jump up on the hair. But we need to jump behind it to get our first secret. If you didn't destroy any of the lanterns, hopping into the secret level or area here will get you the Vandal Knight achievement. And for some reason, my controller just died. So, I'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. So, you will get the Vandal Knight for jumping into your first secret and grabbing the goose, and when you're done, you can jump over to the hair and climb up to finish the level. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. As you can see on the left side there, we get percentage to 100% based on what objectives in the level we got, and we're also getting achievements popping in the bottom right for finishing a level without dying, getting our first daisy, that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So we got 5 out of 5 coins. Again, I already mentioned the coins are random. We got our 1 goose. That's the important part. And we did not die at all. I am going to go ahead and we're going to restart the level. And that should get you the achievement for restarting a level, twice as nice. If you did die on your first playthrough of the level, make sure you do not on this one. You don't have to go out of your way to get the goose or any of the coins. But you do have to grab the flower, and you can just jump up and finish the level once again. And that should knock out most of our first level achievements here. Once you hit continue, and you'll be brought back to the overworld, which is where I thought we'd go the first time, and we'll get the achievement for visiting Jungle Land for finishing that first level. So, I know things went fairly quickly there, so let's just check in on where we're at. Should have 6 achievements, 1 for visiting Jungle Land, revisiting a level, finish a level without dying, a flower for a damsel, breaking something, and taking a break. We still need to get 100 coins, defeat enemies, die, find diamonds, swampland. You can see everything on the screen there. So, with that out of the way, I will rejoin you for level 2. On to level 2. There is 1 goose in this level. It is relatively straightforward. Just follow along with me. I'm going to do my best not to narrate everything. I have a habit of trying to talk the entire time, so I'll do my best not to. Once you get over here, you can see that coin floating up. We need to jump into a secret. And then you can just jump down and head over to finish the level. And that is level 2 done. Level 3. Again, very simple. There are 2 geese on this level. When you get over to here, jump over to the wall on the right to get your first one. And then you just ride the platform down and continue through the screen. The next goose is actually up and or down and to the right, but the flower is up and to the left. So we'll go grab the flower. And when you jump down here, jump to the left to find the second and final goose. Do be careful jumping back up and finish the level. And I'm going to try to show off the full post-level screen just for everyone's sake if they want to see that. On to level 4. This is going to be a little bit longer because I do have a tip to share with you that this level is perfect for. So we're going to jump down here, make our way over to the right. So as you're going through screens in this game, if you die, you get respawned at the point you came on the screen. So for this first area, we usually, if we die, we would go back to the tower that we spawned in. And for subsequent screens, if you die, you spawn back at the screen you loaded in on. On this first screen here, there's a secret to the bottom left. If we had tried to jump into the secret and we died on the spikes below us, we would have respawned all the way back at the tower. But because we went to the next screen and came back, we're spawning where we came back on screen, which allows us to jump and attempt to get this goose here, and if we die, we'll just spawn right there, instead of spawning back at the tower and having to go through the entire level again. Now, this gets a little bit more complicated later on. Some of the secret areas and entrances don't let you spawn out of them. I think it may have to do with whether it's an entrance to a secret or an exit, but there's going to be some trial and error as to whether or not some of the entrances will allow you to spawn at them. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be some trial and error going through. Once you get over to here, you need to jump down to the right here to find your second goose. And then we'll jump up to get the flower. And then you do need to be careful jumping back over here. Don't jump up onto the hair, run behind it, and find the third and final goose. So, again, just keep that little tip in mind when you're exploring, especially if you're exploring on your own. But you're going to want to use that little tip for exploring and making some of the trickier jumps a little bit easier by changing your spawn point on the screen as you go throughout the game. So I do apologize for how much longer this level was because of that explanation, but this was the best level to kind of try to explain that at. So I'll see you guys in the next level. On to level 5. There are 3 geese on this level. There is a secret to our left, but we actually can't do anything with it. We need to hop all the way up here to get into the secret. As you can see, the area down below, we would have just been trapped. So we'll get our first goose. You can drop down if you want to get the coin, but it's not really worth it. We'll continue on here. We're going to drop all the way down because underneath this spiked tentacle is another secret with a goose. And make your way back up. and then jump up off of this vine to the right. We're going to trigger this secret for now because we're going to come back to it. Some of the secrets are only accessible from certain access points. I think the game designates one spot to be where you're supposed to enter the secret. So if you try to enter it from a different area, you may not be able to. So on our way back here now, we can climb up the ladder, grab the goose, and use it essentially as a shortcut to finishing the level. And we're done with level 5. On to level 6. This level has a new enemy type and is really the first kind of tricky section of the game. The tentacles come out when you step on top of them or near them, so you do have time to run over them and then turn around and fire. From this point, we need to jump to the upper left. Just don't jump too far into the wall because you may accidentally run into that saw blade that's going up and down the wall there. You can grab the goose and continue. If you happen to die right now, you actually spawn up where this coin is, so not a big deal. You want to jump to the upper right here to get your second goose. And on the way, wait for the platform to go up into the spikes and come down, and then we're going to shoot the monster on our right. The reason we're going to do that is so that we create the save point at that entrance. On the off chance we were to die here, then we just spawn at that entrance instead of having to go back through the entire level. We'll run over here and grab our flower. And then this is the trickiest portion of the game we've played so far. These two platforms are going back and forth. You need to time it so that you get down to the bottom one. That was interesting, but okay. It is very easy to die and then go on tilt and die like 15 more times. Don't finish the level off yet. What you need to do is kind of climb up the hair just at the bottom, and you see where that coin is? We need to double jump over, but you don't want to double jump over too far. As you can see, there's a saw blade spinning waiting for you. So grab the goose and jump back over to end the level. On to level 7. There's a couple of shortcuts on this one that will make it much simpler for us. Your first secret, sorry, there's 2 geese. First secret is to jump over to the right here and get your first goose. This section over here can be tricky. You want to jump down and then run to the left before and drop down before the platform runs you into the spike, or I mean the saw blade there. When you get over here, you're going to kill this monster, jump on the platform, and jump to the right. Run to the right and just drop down, and you'll get your second goose. And instead of returning, we're just going to jump up and continue through the level. Once you get over here, watch out for the tentacle, and then shoot the monster from a safe distance. Grab the flower, and there's another secret up here. We can just jump to the end of the level. Very quick and easy. Level 8. Massive secret. We're going to run over to here and just jump down here. Make your way back to the left. And we need to drop down and hop to the right. So as soon as you have room, you'll find your first goose over here. And then we need to make our way back up. Now we need to jump to the right, and be careful with your jump to the right here because you can jump too far and fall down, and then climb up the ladder to get your second goose. Time it so that you fall down onto the platform and then run left. And we have another secret here. Be careful of the tentacle and drop down to get the flower. We're skipping a bunch of platforming again. We need to jump up to that upper right-hand platform with the monster, and then jump to the right for a fairly obvious secret, if you've been exploring them as often as I have. And we need to jump to the upper left-hand exit. And now we're good to just finish the level, or we can die. If you do die, you can just run back and hop up. Very quick and easy. Okay, folks, level 9. We're going to get you the secret treasure achievement here. So go ahead immediately and jump off the wall. And you can see we got this big secret. We can get back up using the vine there. Unfortunately, you can't just climb down the vine. We're going to run all the way to the right and keep an eye out for a ladder poking out of the ground. You'll see it right here. Climb down, destroy all the lanterns, and collect your secret treasure. Popping an achievement. There it is. And now we need to backtrack. Unfortunately, one of the geese is hidden behind a gate. So we can't use the secret to finish the level and backtrack to the geese. We do have to go through the entire level. So this section can be tricky, so just be patient as you work your way through. There is a secret above us, but it's easier to access from the left side. So jump over, jump to the right, and then jump back. And we just got caught, unfortunately, in a position where there was nothing we could really do. I recommend skipping this tentacle. Just go ahead and run through and hop over. We're going to drop down to the bottom here, and you need to hit down and A to climb the vine and head left to find your goose. If you really wanted to, you could backtrack to the beginning and use the secret passage to make it over to the end of the level, but it's not worth it at that point. At this point, it's on the next screen now, so. That was interesting. I didn't even see the spikes there. You'll see the flower on the right. That's where we would have come out of the secret passage, so that gate would have prevented us from backtracking to the geese. But once you get the flower, you can hop across. Just be careful of the tentacle here and finish the level. And we're on to level 10, the final regular level of Jungle Land. We do have a boss level next. There are 3 geese. And I got over here too slow, so we're going to wait. So to build off something that I said earlier, once we get to the upper left here, we're going to jump up and we'll get a secret. But this is one of the secret entrances slash exits that if you die, it doesn't spawn you from that. So if you were to die right now, you would spawn back at the tower. So do be careful. And we're just not in a good position to make this jump because of the saw blade. There we go. The second secret is where that moving platform is, so drop down, hang to the left, and jump over to get your goose. And now we just need to continue through the level. You do have some new enemies here. The frogs are rather annoying. But as long as you stay on the platform and shoot at them, they shouldn't be able to eat you. My very first time playing this level, the frogs ate me somehow. Don't know how. I think I just got unlucky, but climb down the ladder, wait for the saw blade, and the second it starts moving, follow it. And we'll go get our flower. Then we're going to jump over here and shoot at the frog. Once it is dead, you can jump down to where it was, because it was pretty obviously guarding a secret. So climb up, get your goose, and return to the upper left. And now we can just finish the level. So use the platform to get up and climb over. And there you are. The final regular level of the first world. Okay, folks, we made it to level 11, the boss level. Boss levels are basically giant chase scenes. You have a giant rolling skull that is trying to crush you, and you have to make your way through the level to the end before the skull reaches you, because the tower is apparently impervious to the giant rolling skull head. These are very simple levels. They're basically designed for you to die multiple times, but every action you complete as far as levers opening and enemies dying is permanent as long as you don't exit the level and restart. So it's kind of designed to just try a couple of times and eventually you will succeed. So there's not too much to worry about. There is one goose right at the end of the level, so we're going to go ahead and jump in and show off what you need to do. You're going to jump up to the vine here, kill the enemy. And again, if you die, not that big of a deal. Make your way through. I recommend skipping the enemies here and jump to the right here to get your goose, and then climb up to the hare to finish the boss level. And again, if you do die a few more times or less than I did, all you have to do is continue playing until you finish the level. It gets easier and easier every run. So that's it. We finished our first area and we move on to Swampland. Welcome to Swampland, folks. Just a few notes. We are in Swampland, so the Welcome to Swampland achievement will unlock once we finish our first level. We will be unlocking an achievement for jumping into the water for the first time, and there are now diamond rings scattered throughout each level, one per level. As there isn't an achievement tied to them, I will not be going out of my way to show you these rings. So first things first, you can actually get through the level without hitting the lever on the right here, but I do recommend going and getting the lever. Jump down into the water and you'll get an achievement. And jump to the left so that you're out of the frog's range and kill it. Do be careful getting across here. If you do die, you do respawn back at the tower and have to go back through everything again. So there are two geese on the screen, so just be cautious. There are some tricky jumps here, so you do need to jump and wall jump back towards in between the saw blades. Jump down over to the left. We're going to make our way through these. There's a tentacle here, so be careful. Jump up to the lever, and now we need to jump up to the upper right to get our goose. Now we can backtrack over here, and we're going to jump into the water once we have the opening and swim to the left to get our second goose. That was weird. It didn't let me jump when I pressed A. Almost got us killed. Over here, there is a small vine hanging from the ceiling. Latch onto it and jump to the right to get the third and final goose of the level. And then we're going to slide down the wall and jump over to finish it off. So I forgot to keep recording. I do apologize. We're now going to head into the second level, but I forgot to keep it running to show off that achievement popping for finishing the first level of Swampland. Okay, so now we're going to go through level 13 or level 2 of Swampland, however you want to designate it. There are 3 geese on this level. First one is right away, drop down and head to the right to get your first goose. We need to drop down over here to get the lever triggered for this to go up. Be careful with this jump here so you don't die, because you will have to start at the tower and go back through. And then you can jump over to the right. Second secret, fairly obvious, just jump into the wall here. And hit the lever to continue on. And then the third secret is also kind of obvious. Just keep swimming to the right. Wait for the saw to go up, and then follow it. If you do die here, you have to traverse the entire screen again, so be careful. Make your way back up through. Well, that was rude. Easy peasy. Level 3 of Swampland has 3 geese and a couple of secrets that'll make it easier for us to get through the level. When you get to the second one, swim up, stay on the left side to try to avoid the frog, and then you can grab your first goose. And actually jump to the right and grab your second goose. We're going to jump down into the water. Be careful of the saw blade, and we're going to swim over to the right and up here to get a secret to the... cut out quite a bit of platforming there. Well, swimming, mostly. Once you get over here, wait for the saw blade to go by and swim directly to the right to find your third and final goose of the level. Now this fish has given us some trouble here. Hopefully it'll swim away. And be careful up here, it's difficult to see, but there are some spikes pointing out on the right side, and I actually ran into them one of my earlier playthroughs because I didn't see them. Although it's well documented that I have terrible eyesight, so... Oh, I'm sorry. Once you get the flower, there's a secret up to the upper left here. Makes it a little bit easier to get back. I was too busy feeling sorry for myself for my bad eyes, and you can just jump to the end of the level. And there's the achievement for defeating 100 enemies. Good thing that popped before I finished off the recording for this level. So from this point on, you can do your best to avoid enemies if you want to, but it's not really worth going out of your way for that. You might as well just keep killing everything. It makes it easier, and since it permanently kills them, it's just better to kill everything, regardless of whether the achievement has already popped. So, and we're on to level 4 of Swampland. 4 geese in total in this one. And there's also a bit of a shortcut here, so jump up to the upper right, you'll see a vine, just climb up and then jump off to the right and walk to the right. You will eventually fall down. You can't see what you're doing, but you will eventually fall down that hole there. You need to swim down and hit the lever, and then wait for the saw blades to go away so you can advance. This platform can crush you into the wall, but it doesn't kill you. There is the 100 coin achievement, so feel free to, again, you don't really have to go out of your way for coins anymore. It's entirely up to you, although I haven't really been going out of my way to show you coins. Our first goose is over here, so go ahead and grab it. The second goose is up here, so just swim up to get it. Stay back again to kill the fish, I'm sorry, the frog. And if you can, avoid the goldfish. There's a secret over here to get through. We're gonna swim down and hug the left wall to find another goose. Once you get over to the flower, grab it and run into the wall behind to find a vine that will lead you up to the final goose and a very quick shortcut to the exit here, I guess. There you go, 4 out of 4 geese and another level finished. Okay, folks, level 5 of Swampland has 2 geese for us to get, and a gigantic secret that will allow us to skip a bunch of the levels. So run over this away and plop down the hole, and we're going to head to the left here. You need to make sure that you time it to get through the spikes, and then time it again. Now we need to continue on to the right. You can just skip the fish if you already have the enemy achievement. As I said, there's going to be a ton of enemies in your way. You'll eventually get the achievement no matter what. Once we get to this side, we're going to climb up. And fall down on the left to find your first goose. And jump over to get the flower, and then we need to jump above the spinning saw there to get a goose. And then I got myself killed, but it's not that big of a deal. And we're done. Okay, folks, level 6 of Swampland has 4 geese for us to get. This can be a bit of a tricky level. But we got a secret up here, jump across, wait for the saw blade to go right, and then drop down and go through, and you can jump over to find your first goose. Wait for the platform to go down, and kill the monster and hop over. And then we're good to move on to the next screen. We're going to wait for the saw to go down and then swim up and to the right to find our next goose. And then you can hug the left wall on the way down to safely avoid the saw and hit the lever. These fish can be a problem depending on how they're lined up. So just be careful. When we get to the next screen, we do have to go up a little bit to get a secret on the left here. And then we can go down and make our way through. Again, the fish aren't really a big concern, but they can cause trouble if you're not being careful. Jump over and get the flower and do this. This part can be tricky too. Now, there are 2 ways to do this. You can go to the left, or you can try to slide down here. Just if you do, make sure you don't jump off into the hair to finish the level, because you have your 4th goose over here. Going down the left side is a little longer and can be tricky too. So whichever method you want to finish off the level, just make sure you grab the goose behind the tower before you finish the level. Hello folks, we have made it to level 18. 3 geese to get. This can be a bit of a tricky level, so don't feel bad if you do die every once in a while. Jump over to the right to get your first goose. There are 3 on the level. Don't remember if I mentioned that or not. When you drop down in the water, hug the right wall. Fish can be troublesome, so just be cautious. Hug the left wall on your way down to find your second goose. There is a gate in the middle of this area. It is not necessary for progression, but if you do die, it saves you having to go back through all the water again. So I do recommend grabbing it. That way, if you do happen to die up here, you can just jump through the gate. Like I just did. That was very weird. I jumped a lot further than I was expecting. But once you get through, you can head over here. We do need to jump up here first, and then cross to find another secret with a goose. And then we need to backtrack and jump down into the water. You will see a new enemy down here. These are rather simple, but because of the water mechanics, that can happen. So try to stay above eye level of those guys so you don't die. But once you're all done, you can climb up the hair to finish the level. Okay, folks, level 19 or level 8 in the swampland. We are very close to getting our goose achievement. There is a secret up here, but we're actually going to come back. You need to swim down all the way to the left and up to get your first goose. We are going to swim back up that direction to use the secret passage, as it is a little bit easier. And then you just need to go down. Unfortunately, the fish can be a bit of a pain, so just watch out for them. When you get over here, your best bet, as we talked about these big fish in the last level, is to try to stay just above eye level so that you can still hit them, but they don't fire at you. Just make your way through. That's weird. And move on to the next area. We're going to jump to the platform and attack the frog. And then jump to the left. Jump down and jump to the right. Just be careful you don't do what I almost did and run too far. Hit the lever to open up your exit, and we need to make our way back over. Now, we need to jump all the way to the right here. You'll find a secret with a goose. Wait for the statues to fire and then jump over to the ladder. There is a tentacle down over here, so be careful. And then you can ride the platform up to the daisy. You don't have to worry about the frog too much. Just jump over to the daisy and you can jump right out to the hare to finish the level. Okay, folks, my apologies. First and foremost, at the end of the previous level, we actually unlocked the Collect 50 Geese achievement, and it is my fault for not figuring that out and running the recording after we finished the level. So, I promise you I did not doctor anything. If you've been following along on every level with me without replaying too often, that should be the point that the Geese achievement pops for... pops. The Geese achievement pops. That should be the point the achievement pops for you. I will be showing you all of the geese in the last 3 levels of Swampland here, but once we get to Area 3 and 4, we will no longer be going out of our way to get the geese. There are 4 geese on level 9/20 20 of the game, 9 of Swampland here. The first of which is to our left. Just walk to the left and jump up to get your first goose. When you get over here, we need to kill this guy. We need to jump up to this platform and get the switch. And now we need to jump to where that monster is. So be careful, don't jump too far. And just walk left to get the second goose, and you'll drop back down and can hop across. Jump into the water. You do have range on the big guys here, so you can just barely stay out of their range and kill them. Can be difficult to do that on some of the levels, but in that case, we had the perfect opportunity. In this next area, we just need to jump across and down. When we get into the water here, swim up to get a third goose, and swim to the left. We're going to grab the flower and then just get ourselves killed. And it'll be a lot faster than having to backtrack. Jump up if you can. This part can be a little bit tricky, so I actually recommend trying to fire from a distance. And our final goose is down here to the right. We're going to jump back up there, though. And we're going to jump up to the right. Watch out for the tentacle. It's easy to get killed by it. And once you're done, you can just jump down to the hair to finish the level. And no achievements are going to pop after this one, so I'll see you next time. Okay, folks, we are on the final regular level of Swampland. We do have the boss level after this. There are 3 geese to find. And this also has another of the secret treasures. If you did somehow miss the achievement for getting the secret treasure in the first world that I showed you, you can try to get it now. This part can be somewhat tricky, so just be careful. We're going to climb up. And over to the left here is our first goose. You can fire down. You don't really need to do it very often in this game, so just jump and aim down to fire down. There are no secrets on this screen, so just make your way through the level as quick as you can. Unfortunately, there are a couple of locations where these fish can give you a lot of trouble, so if you die, it happens. When we get over to this screen, we need to get past this saw blade here and go up into the left. Just be careful of the saw blade to get another goose. You can try to fight the big fish if you want to, or you can just try to sneak past him. And again, when you get up here, be cautious, because the fish can be a bit of a pain. I recommend waiting for the saw blade to go through. I don't want to risk dying here, because we will have to go through the entire level, so we're going to wait till the saw blade comes back, and then we'll follow it through. And get to the next screen. So there is a shortcut on this level. We're not going to touch it quite yet. We need to go down here and get our final goose of the level. And now we need to work our way all the way back up. So hug the right wall once you're on your way back up. And there's a little bit of a shortcut. Just watch out for the fish at the end here. The big guy can be a pain. And hop on up to the final screen. When you get over here, you can jump down. I suggest you attempt to jump back over from there. If you do die, you just spawn where we entered the screen, and you can just jump up and to the left to finish the level. There you are. The final regular level of Swampland done. Okay, folks, we have made it to the boss of Swampland. Again, relatively easy. As long as you keep trying, you will eventually get through, but I will show you the quickest method. There is one goose, but at this point you probably have the achievement, but I'm going to show you where it is anyways. I recommend skipping that first tentacle right at the beginning. There's not really any reason to worry about it. Jump over to the right, get your flower, kill the frog, and jump to the exit to finish World 2. And we have made it to Spooky Land. As just for the sake of completion, we're going to do a quick achievement check here. We got 12 out of 20. We still need to die 100 times, find 5 diamonds, which are the new collectible added in Spooky Land. We'll get Visit Spooky Land once we finish the first level. We need Volley Pops and Volcano Land. That is the next area. 40 daisies and completing the final boss. So we will work on Volcano Land starting in the next level in video. Okay, folks, welcome to Volcano Land. We now have a new collectible to look for on each level, and I will be showing you the first 6 diamonds that we can collect in Volcano Land so you can get your 5 diamond achievement. It is worth noting, as I've said before, you can just replay the first level and get the diamond over and over if you want to unlock the achievement that way, but I will be showing you 6 diamond locations as we go through. And no more geese. Very first, jump over here, hit down in A to hang, and then hit down in X to kill the monster. That never pops up again, really. I'm not sure why they put it in for it to not happen that often. We gotta hit that switch. And your first goose is down there if you want to go grab it. This spot can be a little bit tricky. The levels do start getting a lot more difficult now, so just keep that in mind. Our first diamond is over here on the right. Also a goose. Basically an unavoidable goose. We're going to jump down over here, jump to the left to hit the switch, and then jump back to the right. So before you hit the button, this platform is going to go up all the way to the top, and this section will continue into the next screen. Once we get past that last tentacle, you're going to want to center yourself. So, and then head to the right or left, either way, when you get past and jump off. I do recommend killing these 2 frogs, just so that they don't cause you any trouble. And then jump down and shoot the tentacle. Hit the lever, that will open up your flower, and now we need to jump back to the platform and jump to the left. There is a goose here if you want to get it. If not, you can just jump to the end of the level. Or you can die. If you die, you do have to be careful because, as you just saw, you spawn on that platform. I added another 6 seconds to the playtime, not a big deal. I'll leave it in. And I'm not going to exit out yet because we gotta jump back and wait for the Spooky Land achievement to pop. And there you go, this time I remembered that an achievement would be popping. Golf clap for me. Okay, I'll see you guys in level 2. Okay, folks, we've made it to level 2, level 24, I think, overall. Some of the jumps do get a little bit trickier now that we're making it into the 3rd area, so just make sure you avoid the spike, or the scythe swinging there. We're going to jump up to the right to find a secret. We don't need the goose, but we do need to break through these bars here. And this section can be a bit troublesome, as you see there. And once you jump through, you can climb up this wall to find another secret to bypass things. We do need to head over to the right. We're going to hang down here and kill the frog, because off to the right is the 2nd diamond. And now we just need to jump back to the end of the level. Quick and easy. Levels will be quicker now that we're just focusing on getting the diamonds and finishing the level. Okay, folks, level 3 of Spooky Land, or 25 overall. Again, things do start getting rather difficult at this stage in the game, so you probably will see me have more deaths coming. We also have bats, and bats are very annoying, so just try to time your jumps, and don't feel bad if you die. It is very easy to. When you jump up here, just kind of stay back so that the bat flies at you. And when we jump to the vine to the right, we're going to go up as high as we can. That will trigger the first bat to fly down for us to kill, and the second bat will be hit by the scythe. Jump over to the right. And we have our diamond here. We need to jump down here. Wait for the platform to come up and jump over here, but you do need to be careful for the saw there. Jump over to the left, make sure you do not fall, because you will have to repeat the entire screen if you do. And now we need to jump to the left immediately and ride the wall on the right down. You don't need the goose, but it does save you a lot of time. When the platform comes back, ride it up, jump to the right to get the switch, and just drop down. There's no sense worrying about the enemies, and now we need to climb all the way back up. This section can be rough as well, but remember you do have reach on the big fish, so just try to keep your distance. Once you get over here, don't get out of the water. Just swim up and the bat will fly in to kill itself. Grab the leaf and jump up in the middle. It can be difficult, so be careful. And you can just jump up to end the level. Again, from this point on, you're probably going to see me die a little bit more, because I'm not going to bother editing out quick deaths, so. Level 26, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I'm going to keep saying this, but things do start getting a little bit trickier now, so we will probably be dying a little more than normal. Or I guess we have been, would be a better term for it. We're going to wait for the saw and run to the right. And once the platform comes down, we can jump up and move on to the next area. There is a secret up at the top here. We don't need it. Once we get up here, though, use the springboard to jump to the left to find your 4th diamond, shoot to the right. If you're lucky, you'll trigger that bat to fly down. And because I have replayed a level, I got the find 5 diamonds. I did get a diamond and die too many times, so I re-recorded the level. So you may have already gotten this if you've had to replay a level. But if not, then you may not get it until you get the diamond on the next level if you've played perfectly to this point. When you're ready, jump down into the water. You actually don't need to deal with the fish. You can just shoot the switch and head back up. We need to shoot that monster over there, so do your best to just fire over to the right. And then we're going to need to time it so we can get up there. Once you do hit the switch over here, you can jump up and drop down to the right. We'll save you a little bit of hassle. And then you can just jump to the end of the level. Okay, folks, we've made it to the 5th level, Spooky Land. So there's a bit of a shortcut you can take if you are feeling dangerous. You can just hop down behind the frog there if you want to. If you're having trouble with that jump, you will have to go to the left and down and around through the scythes. But I feel like the jump I showed you is actually quite a bit easier than trying to traverse all that. Once you get over to here, we're going to ride the platform down and jump to the left. And we'll get our 5th diamond. If you've been following along with me perfectly, the 5 diamond achievement will pop here. As I mentioned in the previous level, I had replayed a level and got the diamond, so it unfortunately already popped in a different level. But we do need to head over this direction to hit the button to open the gate, and now we can return and jump down this way. Try to trigger that bat to walk over, because trying to deal with the tentacle and the bat at the same time will probably get you killed. Swim up to the water, but as usual, don't get out. Let the bat come down and kill itself. You normally have to go to the right, but there's actually a secret over here. And it will cut down a lot of the time spent trying to get to the flower. And you can just jump back and end the level quickly. We'll do one more level with the diamonds, and that will be it. Okay, folks, level 6 in Spooky Land. We got a shortcut right at the beginning. That will save us a lot of time. So go ahead and jump up to the right. Jump across the top here. We need to wait for the moving platform. There is a secret up in there that contains a goose if you still need a goose or two, but you shouldn't. But once we get back over here, jump down, avoid the tentacle, jump to the left, and jump up and to the left to find the 6th and final diamond that I will be showing you, well, going out of my way to show you in this run. We do now need to jump over to the right. I recommend trying to trigger the bat and taking pot shots at it, and then jumping your way to the level exit. We're now going to be introduced to the most annoying enemy in the game, save for one you meet in, like, the last level of Area 4. You'll see on the right by the jump pad there is a hole in the ground like a tentacle. When you get close to it, though, a skeleton spawns and runs at you. These skeletons spawn forever. Even if you kill them, they always come back. So it's best to just avoid them and go about your business, because if you try to kill them, they just come back. It's not really worth worrying about. We're going to do our best here to jump over and to the left and end the level, but we jumped too much. There we go. That didn't add too much time. Okay, folks, we've made it to level 7. No more diamonds for us. We just need to focus on getting through the level. This can be a difficult level to get through, so be cautious on your way through. When you run over to this wall, slide down the right side to get a diamond and a secret. I'll let you skip a lot of the tougher part there. We're going to jump straight into the water. The bat will kill itself. Now we need to head over to the far right. You may be able to avoid all of the fish. We just need to get up to the lever. And once you do, you can drop back down. Obviously, be careful for the saw blade and the fish heads firing. So there is a secret up here. There's another one to the right here that allows you to get to the flower. Not sure why that skeleton spawned so early. That was rather rude of him. But once you get the flower, you can just jump straight over to the end and finish off the level. Okay, folks, we are on to level 8/30, whatever way you want to look at it. And again, this little section here can be rather difficult. Run to the right and climb all the way up the vine, shoot to the right to get the button. And now we need to jump off to the right, but be careful, because if you go too far, you will run into spikes. We need to jump up, and that will unlock another secret, getting us over to this side. We now need to go down. We're going to ride that platform over, or we're going to die because we're dumb. There we go. We just need to ride it over to this lever. There is, as far as I'm aware, no reason to go down here. So we're just going to wait for the platform to come back and ride it all the way left. And once we're back out, we need to get back up and to the right and hop across to exit the level. Well, the screen. We do need to go a little bit to the right here, because we need to flip that lever. We're going to wait for our platform to come back. And ride it over to where the flower is waiting. We're going to move over to the right. There's a little bouncy pad. Oops. That'll bring us right back to the end of the level. So just jump up and finish off. What was it, level number 8, I believe? Excuse me. Level number 8 complete. Okay, folks, we have made it to level 9. And again, difficulty is a factor now, so don't be upset if you do die. You may want to, at this point, start pausing my videos and then playing them ahead at maybe... I like to use 2 times speed, but it depends on how well you can understand me while you're doing that. And it kind of does hurt the channel views a little bit, but whatever is easier for you to get through the levels, do that. That way you know exactly where I'm going to be going next. So we're going to skip a gigantic portion of the level here and move on to the next area. Be careful, we're going to jump into the center platform. There is a skeleton that spawns up top. So make your way across to the switch. We're going to jump over to this platform and another skeleton is going to spawn. So just be careful with that. And then move on to the next side. This part can be very tricky as well. There is a secret down here on the left, but it doesn't really do you any good. You're going to jump off to the left, immediately jump back on, jump off to the left, and run all the way across to avoid both skeletons. And get to your flower. There is a secret over here you need to shoot that you can use to bypass backtracking. We're going to jump to the platform, and of course, look out for the skeleton again, and now you're basically home free to jump to the end of the level. Okay, folks, we have made it to level 10, the final regular level of Spookyland, and it can be very frustrating. You're going to want to pause the video and just watch the next 10 seconds or so, because you do have to make it through this next section very quickly. This is a tentacle. Once you get over here, this platform also has a tentacle. So feel free to jump over and die like I did, and do it again because it's really funny. We're going to save ourselves a little bit of headache here with the shortcut. So jump over and jump up and to the right, and if the bat kills you, it's not that big of a deal, but go ahead and climb up the rope. Don't press the button. It's not really worth it. And just run straight over to the right to move on to the next screen. We do have a tentacle here. We do need to head all the way over to the right, and that was very dumb of me. So run over, grab the lever, and just run to the left. We need to go down here now. And these jumps down here can be rather tricky. And now we're going to hit the bounce pad and jump up for a little bit of a secret to save ourselves some backtracking. Once you get back to the screen, you can literally just jump down right on top of her head to finish the level. Okay, folks, the boss of Spookyland, and there is a very easy exploit to make this a piece of cake. Immediately when you spawn, run to the left, not quite up to the saw blade, but pretty close. The skull will pass you by. Now you can just take your time. There is a skeleton that spawns down here, so just run and grab the vine to get out of his way. Bounce up to hit the lever and bounce across. Got the flower. We're going to use the jump pad to jump up into here and jump over and jump to the end of the level. Very easy. Kind of interesting that they put that exploit in the final boss. Regular boss. Because the boss of Area 4 is the final boss of the game. And it's a little bit different, so that was the last chase boss. Okay, folks, we have made it to the final area of the game, Volcano Land. We're going to do a quick achievement check. We're at 14 out of 20. You may be at 15 if you died a lot more than we have in our videos. It is worth noting that I have probably about 30 more deaths than you have seen in the recordings because I have replayed a couple of levels, but again, we still haven't reached enough to get the deaths achievement. more than likely, unless you are a god at platformers, you will die a lot on these next 10 levels. So I wouldn't worry about the death achievement, but if you do need to grind it out, I will be giving you a level that is perfect for it. We still need to collect 3 lollipops, so as with the previous area, I will show you 4 lollipops, but keep in mind if you do have to replay levels and recollect lollipops, you may unlock the achievement sooner. We'll get this achievement for completing the first level in Volcano Land at some point through this area. This achievement will unlock, and again, it depends on how many levels you've had to replay to get the daisies to the point where you picked up the daisies. You may get it sooner than we do in the video, you may get it later than we do in the video. But at some point throughout this final area, this achievement will unlock for you. And we also need to finish the final boss, and the cutscene that happens afterwards will unlock this achievement. So, let's go ahead and get started. And like I said, this is the final area. It is quite difficult, so deaths are going to happen. I'm going to do my best to keep the deaths in. If they don't interfere with the flow of everything too much. You can see the lollipop in the center here. We do need to drop down to water here. We can avoid the frog. And we just need to get up to the lever. And I actually recommend just jumping into the spikes once you get it. Save yourself a little bit of backtracking. Fortunately, we jumped and got ourselves caught. Jumped too early. If you do manage to get through without getting the flower, unfortunately, you're going to have to kill yourself and go back. I'm going to leave the deaths in just because that is a tricky spot. There's level 1 complete. And once we go back to the overworld, the achievement will unlock for visiting Volcano Land. There it is. I remembered again. Who says old age affects your memory? I guess Bonky Kook from, 2 areas ago would say that. But hey, we did it. We'll see you guys in level 2. And we're on to level 2 of Volcano Land, or level 35, I believe, overall. We're going to jump down to the left here. Make our way over. This jump is very tricky, so make sure that you jump all the way over. Once you get the tentacle, you can actually just drop down and make your way down here. That switch turns on the fan, and once you get the fan going, you can get up to the vine to exit the area. This section is tricky. You need to wait for the fan to start, and then jump over here and let the fan blow you up to your next lollipop. Once you do that, you can just drop down and use the secret here to move on to the next area and cause the block to fall onto the lizard. This next section is very frustrating. It helps if you jump better than I did there, but you need to run over to trigger the switch here. And then once we get onto this platform in the center, we need to go to the right to get our daisy. Once you do, you can jump all the way to the end of the level. Not too bad. It would be a lot worse if we were trying to get every single collectible on all the levels. Trust me, because I did that on my first run. Okay, on to level 3 of Volcano Land. You really just need to flip the switch. You can use the fan here to get back up, and then you use the bounce pad to jump over to the exit of the screen. We need to get over here to get our third lollipop, which should unlock the lollipop achievement for you. And once you do, you need to make your way back and jump down here. Once you hit the switch, the platform is going to move, but it only moves with you on it. So just be careful. And once you get over to here, you want to trigger that rock without letting it hit you and jump over. When we get over here, we need to jump on the bounce pad and hit the lever, and then we can drop down into the water and work our way through. Again, you do have some reach on the big fish, so feel free to try to stay back. That was very dumb of me. I deserved to die there. Wasn't paying attention to the fish statue. Be careful when you get up here, because the bat can be a pain, and it can be difficult to try to jump through. Dying there isn't that big of a deal, because you can just spawn and run right over to the exit. Okay, folks, we've made it to level 4 of Volcano Land. Again, can be quite tricky. Once the fan stops spinning here, you can jump over and drop down to exit that first area. And then you need to shoot the switch and jump over to the right. Here is your fourth lollipop, if you've been following along with me. You should have the achievement, but this will be the last one that I show you. And then you can just drop down into the water and make your way up. This next section is rather... well, okay, this section isn't. It's the screen after. My apologies. This next section can be rather difficult. We got lucky where the fish came up. Made that quite easy, actually. We need to sneak through here. And we need to jump over to that center platform, but don't land on the launch pad, because it will send you up into the spikes. Wait for the fans to end, and we need to run over to the lever, and then we're going to wait for the fans to end again. There is a secret if you stand on the first fan pad there. And then just time it so that you bounce up. Kill the monster. We have to jump to the left, but be careful because a skeleton does spawn. And then head left to jump over and get your flower. Now we need to just return. So run over to the right, jump to the vine there, jump to the vine again, and jump to the hair to finish the level. Okay, folks, we've made it to level 5 of Volcano Land. Just run and jump to the right to avoid the skeleton. Ride the air to get the bat to fly down into the spikes. And then you can jump over here and trigger the rock. And then, just to be safe, we are going to wait to trigger the lever. Well, that was rude. Finally. Man, that was Horrible timing. We're going to shoot across to hit that button. When the platform goes down, we're going to jump to the right. You can get another lollipop should you need it, but if not, use the bounce pad and just head off to the right. We're going to drop down here and jump across. And then we're jumping across again. We're going to have to jump and hit the launch pad and climb up to avoid the skeletons. Again. And jump to the left to get to the end of the level. Rather simple, but some of the jumps and timing can be tight. Okay, folks, we've made it to level 6. This is, in my opinion, this has what I think is the toughest screen to get through in the game. We do have these slug enemies that we haven't really touched on. But for the most part, we're better off just ignoring them. However you want to do that is entirely up to you, of course. This next section is very frustrating. And unfortunately, there's no way to skip the frogs. You just have to hope that you can get all of them before they lick you. And this is the most difficult screen in the game, in my opinion. Because all sorts of crazy things will happen to you. A second try, not bad at all. This screen is also a pain. That's the best way to get through that screen. And now we are introduced to the other really annoying enemy in the game. They drop those rocks from the screen by banging on the ground. Your best bet is to just run up and keep firing at them. They do take cumulative damage, so if you die, well, you know, if they have a base 1000 HP and you shoot at them for a bit and come back, their HP may be down to 500 when you come back. So you can just keep dying and running after them, and eventually you will kill them. Now we just jump down the middle and land right on the lady's head to finish the level. You can see that the death requirements are less than 19 now. We're getting to the point where the game expects you to die a lot. So I'm probably going to just leave deaths in from this point on. Okay, folks, we've made it to the aptly named level 40, or level 7 of Volcano Land. If you're trying to get all the collectibles, this level is a pain in the butt. If you are just speedrunning through the levels to finish them, this level isn't that bad. We are going to drop down here. This is one of the platforms that only moves when you do. So just use your jump to time it and jump over to the left and move on. We're going to run over and do our best to kill this ape before he can kill us. Then we need to get up here and jump to the right. We do have some skeletons that spawn, so do your best to avoid them. And now we need to jump over all the way to the left here to the next screen. You'll see the flower floating on the left. That's where we need to head. So what we're actually going to do is drop down as far as we can on the vine and try to kill the ape. And for some reason, we are having trouble shooting the ape from here. So and then we can just jump down and get the flower. Once you get the flower, we're going to jump up to the left here. Get a bouncy pad up to a vine, and this is where the final secret treasure of the game is. As I said at the beginning, I was able to find them in areas 1, 2, and 4. I did not find one in area 3. Climb back up, jump to the right, and we're going to be skipping a whole ton of the level here. We're just going to jump to the right and finish it off very quickly, just like that. Even with like 5 deaths, 4 deaths, we still got 1 minute and 27 seconds, so very quick if you are avoiding all the collectibles. Okay, we are at the 8th level of Volcano Land. And just like all the rest, not all that difficult if you aren't trying to get every collectible. But apparently we can be shot through the wall. That was fun. We're going to jump down the wall and shoot that guy. You don't have to deal with the frogs, you can just stay above them. Once we get up top to the water here, jump to the left and then jump right to kill the monster. And you're going to want to try to run in and run out. Because this guy can be a pain, and if you die, you have to go through all of the underwater stuff again. Once you have the lever hit, you can run to the right. Jump to the next screen, jump back, and jump up and to the left to find a ladder that will help you skip some of the level. We're going to get up to this platform here. And then we're going to kill this slug first. Then we're going to jump over this way. And wait for the slug to come back around. So we can shoot and kill it. We're now going to jump over to here. And hopefully get lucky enough to kill the ape without him dropping any blocks on us. That seems to be a safe spot, but I don't want to guarantee it. Once he's dead, you can just run all the way to the right and exit. This is another very difficult scene. Once you get up here, just focus on killing one of them. If you have to run off to save yourself, then do so, because if you die, you have to come all the way back along that left side again. Grab the flower and head on over up the ladder. And there you see the 40 daisies, 40 flowers achievement popping for us. I recommend running forward to get the bat to spawn, and then there's almost nothing to this level. Or the last scene here. Just hop across those blocks and hop up to the hair to finish it. Okay, folks, so we've made it. This is the final level of the game, excuse me. So, just a quick achievement check. We still haven't died 100 times. That will probably pop on this boss fight. I have... Not gonna lie, I've done these levels a lot better than I expected to. So the fact that I don't have 100 deaths yet is kind of surprising. As I said, I will be showing you, guys and gals, a location to grind those out. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. So if you do need to grind the deaths out, just go back one level. At this point, you can start right here and just run to the right over and over and over again. If you hold to the right, you'll jump in. And you can grind out the deaths very quickly. So, if you do want to get that taken care of, you can. But we're going to jump into the final boss here. And this level is rather annoying. But mostly because of the location of the boss. And what he actually does. He starts off on the left side, or right side for the first half, so I recommend standing, like, right here. And you can fire at him for a little bit without being harassed. You're just going to repeat that over and over again. Once he gets to half health, he does change his pattern a little bit. but I do kind of recommend a similar strategy to what we're doing now. He's going to jump across, and some enemies are going to fall down on top of you. And once he does that, then he'll fly to the center, and you can do the same thing on the right side. Got one more, and then we'll be done. Oh, he actually changed it up on us, but we were able to kill him before we had any problems. Drop down, get the flower. You'll see the Slay the Beast achievement popped for us for defeating the boss. All of these collectibles are actually causing us to die. That's cool. And once you have made it successfully over, you can climb her hair to finish the final level of the game. We died 9 times. Still don't think we unlocked the death achievement, though. Wow. And you'll get a final screen here where it shows all of your statistics, and you should pop your A Unicorn achievement. And as you can see, we had only 51 deaths for our entire playthrough. I don't think that counts if you start a level and don't finish it. So I'm pretty sure we're a lot closer than 51 deaths. But you can see what we've gotten for the other collectibles throughout the game. 42 daisies, 62 geese. And what we're going to do is go back to select a level. And we're going to go back to Love is in the Hair, and we're going to finish off grinding out our deaths. We only needed 2 more. Cool. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another exciting installment of my From 0 to 1000 achievement walkthrough series, getting you the SirLovelot achievements. If you do everything flawlessly, you could be done in as little as 2 to 2.5 hours, but more than likely you're looking closer to 3 for the entire completion. If you have any questions or comments for me, as always, let me know down below, and I will do my best to answer them. But if not, I will see you guys next time.